Okay, so you probably saw the title and thought, wow, this is a bad take. I'm gonna dislike and comment about it. And to that, I say, hold your horses, buckaroo. Give me time. This video is purely my opinion as an artist, and a very big fan of Chainsaw Man and Tatsuki Fujimoto. Please don't send hate because my opinion is different to yours. This is a biased video only intended for people who want to hear a different opinion from most audiences. Thank you. I do not like Chainsaw Man's art in part 2. At least not as much as part 1. To me, part 1's art perfectly encapsulates the essence and feeling of Chainsaw Man. Part 2's art, I feel, is more of a representation of Chainsaw Man. This could be because of the magazine change or because part 2 has a different tone. Whichever it is, I plan on going through what I like and dislike about both art pieces, and for bonus, I'll mention the art in the anime too. Part 1's art, to me, is perfect. Now I know that is a very biased thing to say, but this is my opinion. One thing I think is perfect about the art is how unrefined it all is. I like how there are mistakes, like lines not connecting or the feeling like it was rushed. For the story and tone of Chainsaw Man, I think it fits very well and is the best it can be. Another thing I like is how the lines go from thin to thick very often. It seems like with almost every stroke, Fujimoto experiments with the pressure of the pen. This can also be caused by using line weight with lighting and shadows. This gives the art a certain touch that you can't get from using the same brush size for a whole drawing or chapter. This also varies on the scene. If it's a calm scene, it'll be relaxed and not screen toned very much. But if it's a fight scene, the Bat Devil for example, the lines will be slightly scratchier and there will be very heavy screen tone usage. One last thing I like about part 1's art is that it fits the tone of part 1. Part 1's tone is very fast-paced action, inconsistent, emotional and dramatic. The almost erratic nature of the art shows my point alongside the fast-paced story and character-driven story. What I don't like? Nothing. Literally nothing, it's perfect. I genuinely don't think I can spot something that I do not like with the art in part 1. Maybe when Fujimoto struggles with deadlines and he rushes, but I wouldn't count that as the art failing, because it's really not the art that is behind, it's how fast or slow Fujimoto is. As I said in the intro, I don't think that part 2's art is as good as part 1. But this doesn't mean I don't like it. I really enjoy part 2's art and I think that it's an improvement that it fits with part 2 compared to part 1. One thing I like about part 2's art is how it fits the tone and story. Part 2 is a slower, more intimate story about Asa, Yoru, and Denji. The art fits this because the art seems quite refined, almost like Fujimoto took his time with drawing. This goes well with the slow-paced narrative. Another thing I like about part 2's art is how Fujimoto improved his art overall. What I mean by this is that Fujimoto has definitely improved his art overall with things such as anatomy, toning and hatching. Even though it's an improvement, I still think that part 1's art hits harder. I've had a lot of thoughts into this, and I think that part 2's artwork is a little too refined for my taste. Asano takes almost all of their inspiration and motivation from Sweet Ishida. I don't really enjoy how refined and non-sketchy the art is. If you compare Chainsaw Man Part 2 to Tokyo Ghoul Re, I'd have to say that Tokyo Ghoul Re stomps on Chainsaw Man Part 2 over and over again without a second thought. This is because of my personal taste and what I read when I was young. Another thing I don't like is how easy it looks. I don't know if anyone will understand how I feel when I say this, but it looks very easy and simple. I don't know how to properly phrase it in a way where someone else who can't see into my brain can understand me, but it just seems easy. I feel like Fujimoto is almost not trying with chapters, and I feel like if someone who doesn't do art just picks up a pen and tries to copy a panel, they will easily get it down pretty easily. Of course it'll be sloppy and messy, but it will look like the panel. Last thing I don't like is that the line art is very much just one pen size. There's little to no change of thickness during a line, It feels like Fujimoto is either drawing his lines very carefully and methodically, or he's quickly swiping at them. Just my thoughts. I think that Studio Mappa got down a really enjoyable art style for a adaptation. I think that they did a great job at trying to keep the original style and fit in the Chainsaw Man. Overall, they are both good in their own way. However, I prefer Hot One's art because of opinions and bias. Also, I'm Mega.